What's going on Facebook Live? In our group, Book Experts, Business Self-Help, and Personal Growth, we review books, we talk about books, we show people some information within the books that may help them with their business, self-help, or personal growth. The book that we're going over today is Brand Warfare. So I don't know if you've read this before, but if you have, comment below what you thought of it, and we're going to be going over this today. Just for a few minutes, might gather some information that we have here, and we're going to be offering different interviews with other authors, other speakers, other entrepreneurs, with information about their life experiences and what they've learned from either books or from other people. I'm going to be jumping on the Instagram Live right now. What's up, Instagram Live? We are doing a review in our Facebook group called Book Experts, Business, Self-Help, and Personal Growth. The book that we're going to be going over for the next couple minutes is called Brand Warfare. If you guys have read this book, I'd love for you to comment below what you thought of it. What's going on, Chef Andre Royal? If you've read this book, please let me know. I want to hear from you guys. We're going to be going over in the next couple minutes. And within our group, if you want to join our group on Facebook, we're going to be interviewing authors, different entrepreneurs who've written books and have a story to share with you guys. What's going on, Social by Media? Yeah, this book is awesome. I do recommend it. I'm going to give you a couple things about it in a second here. Let me just share this on my Facebook right now. So if you have any questions about writing a book, what we do at Dream Starters University is we help people write books, and then we teach them how to use it as a marketing tool. So if you need help with any of that, we can do that with you. Share. Cool. And like I said, if you have any questions about maybe the marketing behind a book, how to use it to become the expert in your field as an influencer. Truth is, people want to do business with experts. They want to do business with people who remind them of themselves. So you marry those two ideas and you have a brand. You can do some amazing things with that. The book we're going over today is Brand Warfare. Everybody on Facebook Live now. So if you've read this book, please let me know. But I want to throw a question out for you guys. This right here. Who wrote this book? Who do you think wrote this book? It says Dave D'Alessandro, right? Yes, they are. Books are great lead magnets. That's awesome. I'm glad you know that. Who wrote this book, do you think? It says Dave D'Alessandro, right? Well, what does this mean right here? What's that mean? Tell me what that means, guys. Anybody watching on Facebook or Instagram? What do you guys, what's that mean? Come on, I want to hear the word, the phrase. Somebody type it in below. Sourced from experts. No. What's this mean? When somebody has their name at the very bottom here, what's that mean? Does it mean they helped out? What's it mean? Good for opt-ins. Ghostwritten. That's exactly right. Ghostwriter. Very nice. People were always asking me, what's a ghostwriter? A ghostwriter is somebody who interviews somebody, hears their story, and brings it to life. It's professionally written. Okay? This guy, if you look him up, now his name is Dave D'Alessandro. I'm going to pull it up on Wikipedia. You do a little research on this guy. This guy became the CEO of a financial services called John Hancock. Big time financial service company. He became a CEO in 2000. In 2001, this book came out. Now, do you believe that John Hancock, when he became CEO, one of the busiest men in the company, do you actually think he sat down and wrote this book? No, he did not. He was put in a powerful position. He had the money, he had the connections, he was able to interview with somebody who's a writer, professional writer, Michelle Owens, and told her everything that he feels is important. Okay? And what Michelle Owens does is say, okay, tell me about branding and brand warfare. He actually wrote 3 other books afterwards with the same person. But it would be something along the lines of, hello, Michelle Owens. Established brands are allowed to be obscure. I want you to talk about that. Question, answer, and then she brings it to life in a book. What's going on, Vilma? And that's the ghostwriting process. And what I realized, and that's why I started Dream Starters University, you were able to see that only the wealthy, only the truly powerful people were able to hire ghostwriters, because this probably took a year's worth of Michelle Owens' time to write. Very in-depth, very important. However, when he wrote that book, quote unquote, wrote it, which is still his words, still his ideas, still his stories, so it's still his book, his life, but it was brought to life by a professional writer. But once that was done, he was able to take that and get a little bit further with other entrepreneurs, other organizations. He was able to get in other doors as a best-selling author. Now you could speak different events. He's a best-selling author and CEO of John Hancock, which probably brought in more money, brought in more connections, but it also got him one step further towards the next book, which I believe was called Career Warfare, which came out in 2004. Published by the same people and probably written by Michelle Owens. Now, the reason why I started Dream Starters University was because I was sick and tired of seeing only the wealthy, only the powerful to have books. Now, it took me a while to write my first book, but I wrote every day for years. And I'm thinking to myself, if you're an entrepreneur and you're trying to build a business, the last thing you have is time to write. So what I wanted to do was create a system that anybody can have their story brought to life in a very, very fast, very, very short amount of time. And that's why we created Dream Starters, which basically is the exact same process as what they did. Now, my assumption is he spent $80,000 to $100,000 to have this ghostwritten. What we do is we do something very similar, but in a very much shorter amount of time in a system approach. So we're able to speed it up and also drastically decrease the costs. So our ghostwritten books, which is the exact same thing as what this guy did, big time guy now, did the exact same thing. He probably spent $80,000 to $100,000. We do the exact same thing in $5,000. But anyway, I'm going to go over the book here. So just to let you know, when you read books, it says the author, okay? People are wondering, oh, not all books are ghostwritten. 90% of celebrity books are ghostwritten. And why is that? Because they have the resources to hire somebody to bring it to life the right way. And that is exactly why ghostwritten books are really a beautiful thing. Somebody brings it to life, but they know how to write, they know how to keep it entertaining, they know how to have it value-driven. So there's that. If anybody ever read this book, comment below, because I loved it. I really, really did love this book. Something in this book that I want you guys to take with you guys. It says, don't change the advertising because you're bored with it. I see a lot of people who create something, and I do the same thing. I get bored with my own advertising strategy. If you change it too soon, problems are going to start happening with the communication between you and your customers. People are going to say, well, why is he doing it this way and not this way? I'm not familiar with this. Familiarity, whether it's with a person or whether it's with a business, is what gains trust. And you see a lot of companies change up their advertising in a really short amount of time. The reason why is because if there's a marketing agency within the company, they're telling them you're supposed to change that marketing campaign every so often. And the reason why you're going to be doing it, what was the title? Brand warfare. Check it out, man. And the reason why marketing agencies are always trying to get you to change your campaign is because they make money from it. So don't change your campaign just because you're bored with it. Change it if it's not working. I realized earlier on, like, let's say probably last year, 2 years ago, I'd always want to change every 2 months, maybe even maybe once a month. Now people were just starting to latch on to what I was doing, and I would change my strategy and look a little bit different and start to, showcase what I was doing in a little bit different way. What that was is me just doing it because I was bored with doing the same thing. It's your consumers out there who see you and say, you know what, this person's consistent, they're doing the exact same thing, and that's how you build a rapport up with them. And that's how they say, okay, my friend, my family, go check this guy out because here's what he does. Or check out this woman because here's what she does. Yeah, man, if you have any questions, this is an awesome book. It's called Brand Warfare, 10 Rules for Building the Killer Brand. There's a lot more than 10 rules in this, but the reason why he does 10 rules is because that's easy to sell. You're easy to talk about 10. The number 10, number 15, I'm a big believer in having things that are, hey, this is the guide, this is the how-to, this is 20 things to take today that you can apply to your own business tomorrow. That's a great business book title. Make sure that when you're designing your own book, something simple, something clear, something that you wanted to design your life as the expert in, and make sure when you're putting your book together, you have something like this. Small, bite-sized, and consumable. It's exactly right. You don't want people to pick up the book and be like, whoa, what the hell is this book about? You want them to pick up the book and say, oh, I know exactly what I'm going to get from this. I know the value it's going to provide. Don't get too cute. Don't get too clever. Write your own book and keep it clear, keep it simple. And remember, it's a stepping stone to get you in the position of being the expert in something someday. Here's another thing I want to share with you guys. Small brands do not frustrate their customers. I've realized that convenience is the only thing that will always be in demand. If you can make people's lives easier, you will have a business. My business makes it easy for people to bring their story to life in a book, have it become a bestseller, and then they can use it as a tool. All this happens in 30 days. I know that it's speed is what sells my product or service, but I also know it's convenience. When you're creating your own company and your own brand, remember, convenience is what the only thing in this world will always be in demand. If you frustrate your consumer, with different times of delivery, or if you're changing your terms up constantly, or if you are confusing them in any way possible, simplicity wins. And why is that? Because people can get it, understand it, and it won't frustrate them because simplicity is comforting. People love to understand things. The moment you confuse somebody, you frustrate them. Once you frustrate them, they don't want to do business with you. Wow, 30-day turnaround. That's exactly right. We have professional writers all over the United States, and I'm the marketing department of the company. It's my company, but we have a system in place, and I keep it very, very systematic for a reason. We have fast turnarounds, so people know that they're going to have a book in 30 days. Convenience, simplicity. When you're creating your own company, or if you already have one, just remember every little change that you make internally might affect somebody externally. And if you frustrate too many people, you are going to lose that wind in your sail, the word of mouth momentum, the ability to hold a customer and build a relationship. You frustrate them, it's going to break. So there's that. Something other I want to show you guys. This book, it took me probably 2-3 days to read. It is 177 pages. If you guys are looking for a quick read on branding, branding is very important. It's basically telling your message, sharing your story. It's you taking what's inside of you and making it known to everybody, so whenever they hear your name or see you on camera, they know exactly what you are all about. I know exactly who I'm looking for. Geico knows exactly who they're looking for. Apple knows exactly who they're looking for. And they put their brand, they position themselves a certain way so the right people find them, and that's branding. So let's go with another one here. You guys have any questions about writing your own book? Anybody looking to write their own book out there? Comment below if you've read this book. Comment below if you have questions about branding. Comment below. I'm on a couple different lives right now, but I'm not exactly sure which one is getting picked up. So if you have any questions on Facebook too, write it down below. Let's see here. All right, a couple other little things here. What kind of companies you guys have out there? I want to hear some. You guys are on Instagram. What companies you got? I guess Social Living Media. I guess you're a media company. Anita Mania, what type of company do you have? Do you have anything? Or if not, what are you thinking about creating? Rich Zeitz is on, I think. Rich Zeitz knows all about branding. His book's coming out here very soon. Let's see here. There's another question or another little thing that I want to show you guys. Let's see here. Keeping the message relevant. When I picked this book up, see, times change pretty fast nowadays. So what you want to do is, people always talk about when they're writing their first book, should they be very, very, very specific? And I say no, your first book should be very, very generic. Now the reason why is because your message is going to get fine-tuned over time. You don't want to start off in a very specific niche right in the beginning. You want to start off with a very big funnel. Start off with something like a motivational, how to live the life of your dreams, how to start a business from nothing. And then over time, like Grant Cardone, like Tony Robbins, like Gary Vee, they start to really funnel it down into very specific niches. That way they are all encapsulating a lot of people at once, and then eventually they become the experts in many different things rather than just one. So I think most people do not have just one book in them. They have multiple books in them. That's why their first book should be the most generic of them all. You look back at 2008 is when Cardone wrote his first book. It's pretty generic. Look at Gary Vee, pretty generic. Over time, you become more specific and more specialized. But you got to keep your message relevant. So everything you say in that, you basically hint on in the next books. Except it's going to be a little bit more in detail. Here's something I want to share with you guys. A great speaker or a great author, I don't know where I read this, but it says details are like salt. When you're speaking to somebody, when you're writing about it, the last thing you want to do is add too much salt, too much detail, because you're going to lose a lot of people who don't care about that. If people have questions regarding the detail or want to learn more, they're going to look you up. They're going to follow you on social media. They're going to investigate a little bit more. Financial planning. Rich, you got to let us know when the book's coming out. Better be soon. What was I talking about? We're doing amazing. Thanks, Garima. I appreciate that. That's really cool. Thank you so much. Anybody have any questions about branding? Brand Warfare, awesome book. In our Facebook group, we are going to be reviewing. We're going to be interviewing authors. I'm going to be interviewing you, Rich. I want to hear your story of why you wrote a book. Now, statistics show out there that less than 10% of people are going to pick this book up and read the entire thing. But when I see this guy knows a lot about branding because he's worked with a Fortune 500 company. And he worked his way from the bottom up, it seems like. I didn't do too much investigating. The thing is whenever he goes to speak on stage or goes somewhere, by having this book, he is going to be the expert in branding. Whether he is or not, he wrote a book on it, he knows his stuff, but he's going to be perceived as the expert in branding. Now, his book is awesome. If I'm one of 10 people that are actually going to read the entire thing, you want this book to be useful for you, even if people don't read it. So he's going to go to events. He's going to be on social media. He's going to be out there. He's going to be the go-to guy in branding when he's at a conference, because guess what? He wrote a bestseller on brand warfare. And that's what you should do as an entrepreneur. People say to themselves, life coaching, very cool. Okay. Now, life coaching, very, very, I guess there's a lot of people out there doing that. So the question that you should be answering is, how do you differentiate yourself? What makes you different than all the other life coaches? What have you done? Now, you might have the same lessons that you're teaching, but if you do it in a different way and you have a certain story that you should share with others, life coaching, there are a lot of people out there who have went through some really difficult times, and then they overcame them. So what you want to do is highlight those difficult times, build your bridge of relationship with other people who can connect with those dark stories, and then that's how you separate yourself from other life coaches out there who may not have gone through what you've gone through. That's why it's important to make sure that you highlight your story, show that your story is your competitive advantage, and then put it out there in a certain way that's different than everybody else. Truth be told, that unique value proposition, they get rich. Truth be told, I'm all about, now books, to me, there's a statistic out there that 33% of people do not read another book after high school. How scary is that? If 33% of people do not read another book, what's the problem there? People are not going to be thinking for themselves. They're going to get all their information from the news and from other people, and that's complete garbage. Okay? What you want to do is do your own thinking, do your own research, learn a lot your own way. Books will never go away. Never, ever, ever go away. It might be on an iPad, it might be on your phone, it might be on Google Glass, but words are the way we communicate. And if you use that in a certain way, your own words, your own story, then you're going to be relevant for a very long time. But books are always going to be around. And I think that if you use your story in the right way and you use it as a lead magnet, I believe you said it before, social, where are you at again? Social Libby? It's a lead magnet. You pull people in with your story and you're going to find the right people. So that's that. This book, it took, like I said, it took two hours, I guess, 3 hours to fly through. We're going to be doing a lot of reviews. If you have a book that on your mind that you want to bring to life, reach out to me. You can go to dreamstartersuniversity.com. And if you are an author out there, you already have a book, I'd love to interview you on our upcoming podcast / Facebook Live in our group that we're doing here. And I want to hear why you wrote a book and what separates you from everybody else out there. Are you the expert? And if so, show the damn world that you are the expert. It's new life here in Scotland. Yeah, I have a lot of life lessons. That's awesome. Pammy, you should write your own book. Or you find somebody like us or like Michelle Owens that can guide you through the process. Okay? Michelle Owens, great writer. You know she is. She got hired by this guy who probably makes right around $2 million a year. The thing is in business, you should strengthen your weaknesses. People are trying to do everything themselves. If you do that, you're going to probably make a lot of mistakes and you're going to make things a little bit less valuable than they should be. If you find people who can do things in a faster time, at a lower cost, and get the results that you're looking for, that's your weakness, then you got to make sure that you hire that person or find those people that are going to strengthen your weaknesses. And that's how you get out there. One last quick story before I head out of here. But people think that they need to become multimillionaires or billionaires before they write a book. It's a complete opposite mentality. It's complete opposite. You have to hack life culture in a certain way. Okay? So, if you are stuck somewhere and you don't have a business and nobody's paying attention to you and nobody knows who you are yet, you have to figure out a way to stand above the rest. Somehow, right? Now, Credibility is the one thing entrepreneurs are lacking nowadays. They lack credibility because there's so many entrepreneurs, there's so many multi-level marketers, so many network marketers, so many people on Facebook doing something like this, Facebook Lives. How do you separate yourself from others? Well, you have to outwork them. You have to write more books. You have to do more Facebook Lives. You have to do Instagram Lives. You have to be a little bit more active on everything. That is going to bring you to the top in the relevancy of how computers work. If you keep doing, promoting, posting, that's how computers think. They're going to reward you and they're going to put you to top. So you have to outwork people by doing that type of stuff. In addition, you have to be more authentic. You have to be more transparent. I can see, for the most part, I can't spot them all, the bullshit people out there from a mile away. You will see that they hide behind a lot of things. The people who are not bullshit do the Facebook Lives. Okay, and I know there's people out there who are real that just don't do them, but the people who are saying there's something and they don't do it, they're hiding something. They don't want to tell their whole complete story. I live in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I do not want to make it look like I'm on a high rise looking over Dallas or something, I don't know, or a high rise looking over California's or Hollywood Boulevard or Vancouver. I don't want it to look like that because I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. That's my story. I want people to know that. And whenever you have your own story, embrace it, share it, because people eventually, through social media, are going to spot the bullshit and spot the real, the authentic, the true. That's why you shouldn't hide behind anything. You should actually put it out there. And people who are trying to gain credibility, A, outwork people, do more, be more real, be authentic, and then also use your life experiences, your pain, your struggle as your competitive advantage to get further than the person who might have been given it all. My greatest saying is, be valuable to valuable people, and your brand will definitely help you do that. You have to. Your brand should encompass, I'm going to outwork others and I'm going to outsmart people, and you have to let people know it. You guys have any questions, reach out to me. We're going to be doing a lot more reviews, brand warfare. I think the next book is Guy Kawasaki's Social Media Marketing. So I'll probably be on tomorrow. Let me know if you have any questions, and we'll see you then.